OCO, Halito, how y'all doing? What's up, cuz?
Wow, what's happening with you, baby? What's going on? I'm Mochi. What's going on with you, baby? I saw you sent me something earlier today. That's real funny.
I knew your ass would love that. Yeah, somebody dresses up as Jakula or yeah, Sasquatch Bigfoot. They dress up at the meeting. And it was another meeting and I forgot to post that one, but he was outside riding a bike as you pull up to the meeting
Yeah.
outside. He was riding a bike. I was like, oh my goodness. I said, I gotta tell my cousin about this.
Yeah, that was funny. That was funny. I like that. So you
Yeah.
told him you actually had an encounter with it? Oh no.
Nah, not yet. Nah, I haven't.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a kind of serious talk today. We had a presentation, so I didn't even. But I will share my story because we was talking about stories
Hmm.
about the story is about the seven sisters and how it's really describing coming from the Pleiades, and that's one of the Jalagi stories. Um, one of the sisters came to Earth, and the story is that's how we were brought here to Earth or appeared on Earth. But it's called the Seven Sisters. And then they was talking about ecological and environmental stuff and comparing it to how the Western world views it versus indigenous views. So that was
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, that's very interesting because because they're not looking at it as being caretakers of the earth. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because if you was a caretaker of the earth, you wouldn't use the resource to make a profit off it, and then you will put back from what you took. And you see them taking oil out of the ground, but you don't see them putting the oil back because they can't put the oil back. So you have barrels of oil at the bottom of the ocean in 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 barrels by the thousands. You know what I'm saying? You know. So within itself, yeah,
Yeah, peace to everybody tuning in.
yeah. I just did a mass blast on there. You know, and say what's going on, cousin Anthony? What's going on with you? You know what I'm saying? It's a general bill tonight. Um, Let me go ahead on and put it on Instagram. Um, we won't do it like that. But anyway, um,
I shared the link.
um,
Go ahead, cuz.
yeah, I begin to see things, people being very racist now.
Mm,
You know, well, some people, I'm not gonna say all, some,
okay.
when it comes down to this American Indian or Native American or Indian, but that that within itself, you know. um, dealing with those general terms, right? I'm like, those terms, like the word America, that was specifically named of mountain region that was down there in Peru, which became known as Peru. That's what the Spanish them called it, Peru, but actually it was in Peru, it was Peru.
Say that
And
again. Spanish what?
it was actually called Peru before it became known as Peru. It was Peru with a B.
Okay.
Um, yeah, that was dealing with a mountain range that's down there in Peru, which became known as Peru. Um, and the name of the mountain range was actually Ameriquis, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or the uh, name that would be synonymous with one of the emperors that was down there, Amaru, right? Amaru, right?
Okay.
So that's where the name or the connotation of the word America came from. You know, you got a lot of people that say, "Oh, that was dealing with refugees." No, that was not dealing with medical refugees, not at all. But that word cannot be found nowhere in none of the southeastern or northeastern or south coast tribal tongues. So for them to talk about what America is, like, well, show me where the word America at in the Algonquin language or in the Muskogee language or in the um or in the Pedi language, you know what I'm saying? Or in the Navajo or in the Cheyenne or the Chickasaw or the Chata or the Yvmvse or the Catawba or the Tequista, right? Show where that word America is at in our language. I'll wait. Because you got a lot of people say, oh, it's not American Indians, American Native. No, it's not American Native, it's American Indian. Or it's just Native or it's Aboriginal. And I'm like, define those words in your tribal tongue. That's where I'm at. Say who you are in your tribal tongue. But most people can't do it. That's why they have to use the colonial terms.
Right. The generalized terms. Yeah.
Right? It's generalizing, right? You use the colonial terms. So if you use the colonial terms, right, that means that you are in their arena, right?
Yep.
So so I remember I did a post, it was about a week and a half, 2 weeks, about the word aboriginal, right? And within the word aboriginal, it was actually dealing with a mythological, yeah. You see where Baru is at, huh? It's called Baru.
Yeah. I was trying to look it up.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
but they just have like I think it's an island brew or a restaurant. They named it
yeah,
after that. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But the Spanish in them, when it went amongst the people, or the Spaniards went amongst the people, you know, you know, they always butcher up people's tongue. And that's why I say it's so important to know your tongue, because you know that other people will butcher it up. So, that's the funny thing about it. you know, because they didn't know how to talk anyway. But anyway, dealing with that, when you speak your tongue, it's power in speaking your tongue. Now, it would be unfair for me to speak my language to people who don't know my language. So that's why you hear me speaking English right now. Or better yet, it's not even much English that we are speaking right now, because Right now, we are speaking American English. And if anybody had English let in school, English, you would know that you're speaking American English, which is a bastardized dialect, right? So, but see, that term Aboriginal is being used. That one right there that you just pulled up, that was dealing with the 1500s. But I'm talking about before the 1500s. Matter of fact, let me see if I can find something right quick. Matter of fact, put in Aboriginal and mythical Rome, and you will see where it's going to pull up. Mythical tribes of Rome. Tribes of Rome. Let's see what pops up. Mm-hmm. There we go.
Yeah, there it is
There,
right there. And I've
there.
been guilty of using this word, but I like I was telling you, I looked at that word and I'm like, ab. If you put ab in front of something, that means like you're not or without. So I went to a general term, origines, and then I said we're just the descendants of the original peoples, and then I referenced the tribal nations that are in my bloodline. So I have used this word, and I believe I have cleansed all my social media of it in any titles, but I have used it, and I know many others have used it that are listening or watching.
Peace, cuz. Peace. Peace to all the family that's in, my cousin, my nephews, and them. Thank y'all for tuning
There-
in. You know, I see you. I see you, Wes. And that's the thing right there, right? So, you know, this is the origin of the word Aboriginal. And then you have people who say, well, you're using Wikipedia and all of that. Well, what people don't fail to realize with Wikipedia, they do have, when you scroll down, they show you the etymology of the word and the origin of the word. So people don't like to say, oh, well, they're using Wikipedia. Anybody can put anything on Wikipedia, but yet they give you sources to go look up the word. You see, and like they
Right,
have the look etymology right there. Look,
right,
etymology. We're speaking about the etymology right here. So it's funny how that is dealing with a mythological tribe, right? And yet, what wind up happening is in the 1500s, the British and them used this word for those that was of Tanzania, right? That's dealing with Australia. And when they say they supposedly knocked them off and stuff, then they started calling them Aboriginals. So they're trying to say that these people were extinct. So therefore, if they're extinct, then now they become what? Mythological. They're gonna be like, oh, these people once existed, but they don't exist anymore. Right? They're
yeah.
extinct.
They're always trying to
But
say somebody extinct.
yeah, but yet these people of that land, right? They don't like that term Aboriginal. Why? Because they said that that word is actually offensive and it is derogatory. So now, if you got people using these words and you
Right.
have people of that land that is denying that word or don't like that word or don't use that word, then who are we to take that word and run with it? And now you have the United States government and many other people use that in their legalese dealing with their jurisprudence. But yet the word is offensive because you saw the origin of the word.
Yeah,
So
and these people
why you
call themselves
the
what?
word? Why
Anagu, Anagu, and this word I can't pronounce. Pidjant Jara. Those are the
people?
misnomer Aborigines of Australia, because Uluru is like their sacred place. But I just
Right.
wanted to show this while you was talking. Like, this is what they called themselves. They didn't call themselves Aboriginals.
Right. That's the colonizers that said that. But yet you get people that's upset at me because I say, okay, y'all, stop calling yourselves by your tribal kin and stop calling yourselves by the colonies. But
Right. Yeah, we need to read this for them. It says the Aborigines in Roman mythology are the oldest inhabitants of central Italy, connected in legendary history with Aeneas, Latinus, and Evander. They were supposed to have descended from their mountain home near Riet, the ancient Sabine town upon Latium, where they expelled the Sicels and subsequently settled down as Latini under a king Latinus. And then you was talking about the etymology of the word.
mm-hmm. Right, where they say that is the most generally accepted etymology, the Latin word aborigine is that is derived from aborigine, according to which they were the original inhabitants of the country. Although Castor the Elder um, regarded them as Hellenistic immigrants, not as a native Italian people. All right, other etymological explanation suggested are the origin, meaning freeborn. Let's say freeborn, huh?
Tree born from a tree.
Treeborn. All right, treeborn. I need to put my glasses on. Where's my fucking glasses?
Yeah, you see, I got mine on.
Cause that shit is real small. Freeborn and Aborigines meaning nomads, right? Wow, nomads.
Yes,
So
yeah.
they're nomads, right?
They they the nomads.
They call people in central Italy, you know, Boroguno, right? So, yeah. So, yeah. So, yeah, I put you that
Yeah,
in.
uh, if I had I got a little board where I got the effects. I gotta hook it up, but this is like a bomb drop.
Yeah, yeah. So,
Oh my goodness! And this is what's the date on this? Do they say the date, like the year, or I'm trying to see.
let's see, look, they got the sites, cities, the cities, and everything, you know. Because I mean, even with the mythical story of how Rome got started with Romulus and Remus, when they say they're
Uh,
supposed to kill dogs, you know what I'm saying?
yeah, that's why they put this word lycophron. Whenever they put lyco in something or like lichens and stuff like that, it refers to wolves,
Yeah, the
descendant of
lions. Yeah,
yeah,
you remember you had the movie what that movie is
world, underworld.
Underworld. Yeah,
Yeah,
Underworld, and they were talking about the lions. You know what I'm
mm,
saying? So Hollywood, they put it out there.
yeah,
When they
like
talk
camp.
about the lions.
Yeah,
You see how
and
they
it's
push it all around you? Y'all think it's just entertainment, but okay. But
and
anyway,
it's crazy because with this lyco for the wolf, it's like okay, because we have the wolf spirit, the Waya spirit, the Yona spirit. No, that's the bear. But the Waya spirit, the wolf spirit. We
mhm.
honor the other animals and mammals and raptors, birds, and they have their little stories where they trying to say that they came from wolves or they were nursed by some wolves. I just think
Right.
that that's interesting how it's like they copy our stuff. Okay. Side note.
Well, that was weird over there in Rome. So, I mean,
Right.
hey,
Right. It
yeah,
says 1264 BC or 1035 BC.
yeah. But now, but now they take that word and they put it in law, right? And I remember going to the Black Laws Dictionary, the fourth edition, and it doesn't have the word Aboriginal by itself in there, but when it comes down to deal with Aboriginal title, it does. When they say Aboriginal title, but it doesn't have Aboriginal by itself, though. And I'm trying to wonder why they don't have Aboriginal in the Black Laws Dictionary by itself, but it has it as the Aboriginal title in there together to say Aboriginal title, right? But then they just clump everything together by saying Aboriginal to say it was the original inhabitants of the land, right? But then they had one guy who was like, "Oh, they got treaties with Aboriginals in it," and I'm like, "What treaty was that? I'd like to see that." You know what I'm saying?
You said the fourth Black Law Dictionary, the fourth
Yeah,
edition.
fourth edition. Yeah, it doesn't have the word Aboriginal itself in it, but they have Aboriginal title. Because they have the Black Laws Dictionary, the fourth edition on PDF file. You're not going to find Aboriginal by itself. You're going to see Aboriginal title, you know. Oh, and look, you can even see when it's talking about how the laws are. Scroll down some. See, this the preface of revised fourth edition. You know, when it's speaking about the Black Laws Dictionary and everything. Because this is what mostly all your attorneys have to use for the bar. You know.
Let me see. Let's look at let me see. They don't even have it in here. Well, right
No,
here.
they're showing the yeah, they're showing like the prefix and stuff and everything. Scroll down some more. Yeah, scroll all the way down. Scroll all the way down till you get to the A's. So I'm
It
going.
had them at first, but it didn't say like what page. It just had some words.
Keep on going. Yeah, a little bit more ways to go. Keep on going. Keep on. Keep on. Because they talk about the code of professional responsibilities. Keep on. You ain't to the definitions yet. Keep on. A little bit more to go. Keep on. You getting there?
Yeah, yeah, I'm going, I'm going.
Talk about judicial ethics. Hey,
Yeah, I saw that.
keep on.
Now I saw that A. It said the we at A.
Yeah, yeah.
And see, it doesn't have it.
Keep going.
Okay.
Keep going down. Keep going.
Okay. Okay. I see how they now they
Uh
do
huh.
it.
Now
Because
you
at
see how they do it? Uh huh.
yeah.
The abandonment. Slow down. Go back up a little bit. Wait, come back down. Some.
It should be in here.
It's supposed to be. Yeah, it's supposed to be in there. See that? Come on. Go ahead, please. Come on down. I remember seeing it in there when it said Aboriginal title.
Would it be under title and then they list Aboriginal?
No, they had it in the A's.
Okay. Because this is let me see. This is the fourth edition. You think it's in another edition? The three?
No, keep
Or
going down. Let's see. Because I saw it. I saw it in the Cause this the fourth edition, right? It was in the
yeah.
fourth. Supposed to be right there. And there's no way you can search it in there. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can do something. Because it's supposed to be in there when they talk about Indian and stuff. Now, why is this is popping up on my page?
every time I put this, it always wants to take me to. I put in Aboriginal definition in Black Law Dictionary. It always wants to take me to native meaning in Black Law Dictionary.
Which one that is? Which law that is? What law book? I mean, what edition?
I mean, I just did a search, Aboriginal definition in Black Law Dictionary, to see which one it will pull up, like what edition.
Natural born citizen or natural born subject or citizen, right? One who owes his domicile and citizenship to the fact that it is built within. Okay, what edition that is? Who was supposed to have the edition?
And it just says this
That's the
says the
second.
law dictionary.
That's the second
So,
edition.
huh?
It's, it says second edition.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, that's the second edition.
Okay. But it whenever I type Aboriginal definition in Black Law Dictionary, it just always want to take me to native and
Mm-hmm.
bypass Aboriginal.
Hmm. Now you got to ask the question why they do that.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Because even dealing with the United States Constitution, I think the word Indian is found in the Constitution about 3 times, I think. And I even did a post about how the word Indian came from Los Indios, which meaning those without God or those lost without God in the Spanish.
Yeah, it won't pull that up. Let's see. I tried to word it different. Aboriginal meaning, according to the Black Law Dictionary, it still takes me right here. Native definition.
Hmm.
Let's look Indians definition. Okay, it says Indian definition, legal meaning, the Aboriginal inhabitants of North America. Um, this is
Yeah, but the
the
origins of the word Indian itself, meaning those without God or those lost without God. Because remember, Christopher Columbus, his mission was to get the natives to accept Catholicism because he said it was a bunch of heathens and
yeah,
barbarians and savages.
and
So,
they were
so
the
yeah,
heathen.
you had people from saying, "Oh, they were the people of God." I'm like, why would he see them as the people of God when he see them as barbarians and heathens and savages? They needed converted them into Catholicism, to Christianity. You know, then you got people to talk about, "Oh, Christopher Columbus wasn't real." Like, who the fuck told you he wasn't? I'm trying to figure out why.
Yes, and it refers to the Austronesian people of the East Indies in the Philippines. Indio, the Spanish term for Indian people. or people from India. And India used to be called Hindustan, so
Yeah, the British and them didn't name that until some years later.
right.
Yeah, it was called Hindustan.
Yeah, it said the term Indian is an import from the European languages originating in North America in the 15th century. It is commonly understood that when Christopher Columbus set off west from Europe, he was attempting to land in India or Asian continent.
Now you know that was a lie. You know that was a lie. But look, right here when it said to search for what does Indios, go back,
Where? Okay.
go
On
back.
that same page,
Yeah, go back.
right here?
You see what it said? What does Indios mean in Spanish?
Yeah. Um, yeah. Yeah, the Christopher Columbus stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing
Yeah, but they
is,
won't go deeper than that. They keep giving you. They always bring you back to the Columbus related
but look,
shit. Go
but
past
look
that.
right here. But look right here. But LOS, that was for loss. Like it said Los Angeles,
Yes.
right? You see that right there where it said LOS? That's loss, right? Just like they say Los Angeles meaning the Los
Right.
Angels.
Angels. Right.
Yeah, right.
Right.
So he saw the Los Indios meaning the lost people of God,
Yeah,
right?
that's
And that's why he
he's.
called them savages and heathens and barbarians. And I keep telling people that
Yes.
because they were like,
Yeah.
oh no, he saw them as people of God. I'm like, no, he did not see them no people of God. His mission was to go ahead on and convert them to Catholicism. And if they did not convert, they go ahead on and murder them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's
That's what that
them.
says to murder everybody that don't believe.
Right. So to even use the word Indian, that was also derogatory because they called us barbarians, heathens, and savages. But just like I asked the question, by us being barbarians, savages, and heathens, how was y'all able to do treaties with us then?
Right. Yeah, that part.
Right. So, I mean, I'm not telling nobody not to use the word. So, once again, I do a disclaimer. Anything that I say is on my own accord and not the accord of my family and my nation. So, yeah, I'm doing.
Right. Yeah, and I put that disclaimer in the description. Our
Yeah,
views do not
yeah,
reflect tribal nations that we are affiliated with.
right,
Or
right,
our personal views, and we're looking up definitions for educational purposes only.
right. Educational purposes and entertainment purposes.
And entertainment purposes only.
Because you know some will take it as entertainment anyway. But
Yeah.
have not entertained you? Do I amuse you? Are you not entertained yet? But yeah, just know the words that y'all use that's coming out of your mouth. That's all the thing that I'm saying. I mean, if you use it and it benefits you, cool. If not, cool.
Right.
You know, uh,
Right.
I prefer to say who I am in
Right.
my
It's like saying black. It's like saying black when nobody is black and there's no nation or country that's called black. So it's just like using that in essence.
But even with that, cuz like if you look at it linguistically, um, if you look up blanco, that's white in Spanish.
Right.
When you look up bronco, that's white in Portuguese.
Hmm.
Then when you say blanc is in French, that means white, right? And
Mhm.
then you have block or block, right? Which
Yeah,
means white as well. So
right.
basically, when you say you black, you basically saying you white.
Right. Yeah, that's why those people, when they be doing that paperwork, they say, put down that you are white. Those people that used to do that paperwork,
Yeah.
they would say, put down that you are white.
And I'm
So
trying to get my I'm trying
uh
to get my share. I'm trying to get my share
he not
screen
saying
together. I'm trying to get my I'm trying to get my screen together, which I was
that.
trying to actually show what I was speaking about. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know why it's not doing that. Let's see, maybe if I can close these. Okay, okay. Can I see? So I'm trying to do a share. But I mean, people can look that up. What I just said about
Blanco, black, block.
yeah, yeah, those words for white. All right, I'm thinking to it. Hold on. Uh, I think they have the chart.
So in essence, you're better off and correct by saying the name that your ancestors called themselves. Yeah, they got the derivatives Blanco, Color Blanco, Clara, Blancura, Tres Blanco, Blanquilo.
You pulled up the etymology. I mean the linguistic chart to show how the word came down. Like dealing with each nationality, like for
The
Spanish,
cat. Okay. Let me see.
yeah, like for the
So,
Spanish, the British, the French.
no, this is a general chart.
Yeah.
'Cause I put in linguistic chart Blanco Spanish.
Yeah, but I'm trying to show how it actually goes through the Spanish, the French, and the Dutch, and the English. Hold on, I'm about to pull it. Hold on. Let me see if I can share it off my Spanish. Spanish. almost getting there, cuz.
Okay. I mean, we here for the shits. We're here.
Hopefully this is it. Let's see. Hopefully this is it. Let's see. Hmm. No, this is not it. This is not it. Let's see.
This is early medieval Latin blancas, Proto Germanic blancas, white, bright, blinding. Okay. It said the word black can be traced back to its Proto-Indo-European origins through the word BLAC, black, which meant
Right,
pale,
right,
wan, colorless, or
right. There
albino.
you go. There you go. There you go. So that's who black is. Black is an albino or white, right? But yet they got you saying that you black, but yet you don't know the etymology of the word black. I mean, I'm just showing y'all, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying not to call yourself that, but I'm just saying from the etymology perspective that black means pale. So who are really the black people?
Yeah, it says devoid of color. Um, okay, it traces the history of the term black. The Old English BLAC was used like blanc to refer to a fair person, someone devoid of color. It was only in the 16th century that we saw the semantic change of BLAC to refer to something dark, night
There
color.
you go. There you go. Now you see there was a change
In the 16th century.
in the 16th century, semantic change, meaning they changed the word and the sentence and its meaning. Because people in them thought the word semantics meaning wordplay. No, the etymology of the word semantics does not mean wordplay. And you got a lot of people that have been using that word semantics out of context. Oh,
Yeah.
you doing semantics. You playing with words.
Let's,
No, that's not
let's,
playing.
let's,
Semantics is not playing with words. Semantics is the study of the word in the sentences there is, you know. Now, if you
yeah,
want to, now if you want to play with words, that's called the language, the art of language. Now that's playing with words, but that's in legalese.
great.
So yeah, so now who really doing the movie with Dan Aykroyd and Eddie Murphy, Trading Places?
Hmm. Yeah, things that
Trading
make hmm.
Trading Places. That's what that was, baby. They trading places.
Yeah, it says semantic, mid 17th century, from the French semantique, from the Greek semantikos, significant, from semanian, signify, or a sema sign. Serving as a sign or a warning of danger.
Mm-hmm. So dealing with that being said.
And they said, down here, this is interesting. It says serving as a sign or a warning of danger as the conspicuous colors or markings of a certain poisonous animal. So you know how certain animals, if it got like a coral snake
Yeah.
versus, it has a different color marking.
Red on black, stay back, Jack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yep.
Interesting.
And then it said the semantic change of black to refer to something dark or night color. But before that, it was devoid of color.
Right. And you have people that always be like, yeah, words do change its meanings. But to benefit who? But to benefit who? That's why I like Rush Hour when Chris Tucker told Jackie Chan, right? Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Well, the question is, do you understand the words that are coming out of your own mouth? That should be the question.
Yeah, it said it was not till the 16th century that the semantic broadening of the black occurred, both and figurative connotations as well as literal. That's when it changed and broadened. It says meaning to bleach out or to make white, blonde, or pale. Came the figurative meaning to stain someone's reputation or defame or darken. So it changed from that. Like night and day, actually.
Right. And like I say, I'm not here to convince nobody. I'm just showing y'all information for educational purposes and entertainment purposes.
Right. Yeah.
So,
They said this is a
you know,
dramatic shift.
yeah, you can use it to your own discretion. But I know me, what I'm saying. I know when I introduce myself, even in the court of law, if you was to be, you still speaking your tribal tongue. You know what I'm saying? Then you can do a rough little translation or transliterate, you know what I'm saying? You say that you are. Yeah. Because I'm like, that's something how they can take something that's mythological and put it in law. That's what I'm like,
Because
wow, this
they writing it, so they got the
yeah,
pen.
yeah. They took something that's mythological and they put it in law. But now you gotta ask yourself, who law are you going by? Because you got a lot of people say, "Oh, I'm Aboriginal," and I'm saying to myself, "Do you really know what you're saying?" That's why you got a lot of people that got upset with me when I say so. Basically, you say that you are Roman, or you of a Roman tribe, or are you of the Roman mythical tribe? They got mad at me because I asked that question. But I asked that question based on what I found. What I'm saying, what I know that's pertaining to the word Aboriginal or Aborigines. And where does that put you at? Because I mean, mythological, hell, unicorns are mythological.
Yes, they are.
I haven't seen a unicorn yet,
Me neither.
and I haven't seen the Pegasus yet.
Oh, yeah,
So
so here it
I mean,
is. They can look it
like,
up.
if you wanna go ahead on and apply that to you by you saying that you Aboriginal, then be my guest. Be my guest, but don't say I didn't show y'all where the word came from. Now, whatever you do after that, that's all on you. Cause they were trying to give me flack behind it, and my cousin came right behind and said, "Paul was right. That's what he was dealing with." But they took something that's mythical, right?
Yeah, that's what it say right here. And
And
yes,
it's
this
so
is Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia.
now, now the thing is, you probably have to pull up the word mythological in the etymology for the people where they can understand what that means. You heard me,
Yeah,
cuz?
yes. I'm gonna pull it up. But the reference for this, since if somebody say, well, this is Wikipedia, it says the reference is from the Encyclopedia Britannica, the 11th edition, Cambridge University Press. And then
Cambridge,
they got these other
Cambridge,
sources.
Cambridge is a prestigious college or university. Cambridge. So that's the reference. That's the reference. Don't argue with me. Go argue with Cambridge University. Go argue with them.
Myth. Let me see.
Because I know I wouldn't want to apply myself to no mythical to no mythical origin.
No, unless you just like as we stated earlier, we was talking about, we do have most tribal nations do have storytelling.
Yeah,
And that is a different thing. Um a different nature, I would say.
yeah. How
And
many
so
people that we have? How many people we have in the chat?
let me
Can we get a
see.
one? Can we get a one in the chat?
I see 7 at this moment, but they don't always show us the correct numbers. I've noticed that because it'll show me how many views and then it'll say something else. So that's not really accurate.
Anybody have any questions in the comments? Cause can you go ahead on and drop the link in the
Yeah, I
chat where
showed
they
it
can,
earlier. I'm gonna show it again.
yeah, they can come on? You know, let's get your let's get your point of view.
Yeah,
Let's get
and
your
let's
point of view.
look it up too.
Y'all could be like, "Pa, man, what you found, bro?" You even got a disagreement. You know what I'm saying? State it. But once again, don't argue with me because I didn't write the shit.
Right,
I'm just only
right.
reading the shit. That's it. That's all thing we doing is reading this shit, right? Cuz
Right. Mm. Yes, creation myths are a type of origin myth narrating the formation of the universe. However, numerous cultures have stories that take place after the initial origin.
mm-hmm.
Yes, and I mean, tribal nations have their origin stories.
Right.
So,
So nobody
so
don't have no
do
topics
you
on
know
there.
your tribal nation origin story? That will be the question, since we talking about mythology. Um, does a person that is using these terms, do they know their tribal nation's origin stories?
Right. And even with the stories, right? Is of the tribal people, is it really a myth? Is it? All right. Thank you for chiming in. Chaco. Chaco
Yeah,
Cuss.
mythology, folklore, archaeology. A set of stories or beliefs about a particular person, institution, or situation, especially when exaggerated or fictitious. Collection of myths, especially one belonging to a particular religious or cultural tradition.
It's a factitious is deal with something like a lie. A
Yeah,
factitious
false. Yeah,
lie.
yeah. And we are looking this up because of this. This is why. This is why we are looking this up.
Because that's their story. That's their story. Of those people that you name in it, that's their story. They don't have nothing to do with the people over here or anywhere else or elsewhere, as they say. Right?
Yeah, and then I mean, that's the thing. It's like you got to go back to the origin of a thing to see where did it come from,
Right.
uh, and see how they changed it, like the evolution of the meanings, like how they
Right.
changed it.
Because that's what they did.
Yeah. And my thing is everything is theory until it's proven. So we got
Right.
a lot of theories and hypotheses, educated guesses. Yeah, so there you have it. Did anybody have any comments or questions? You wanna elaborate more on this? We looking up something else. This is kind of like the kill switch, so to speak.
Well, I was touching on something earlier, when I was on Instagram, and you have a lot of people who want to deny the African Holocaust of the transatlantic slave trade, right? And it's amazing how you have people in them. They probably have done the genealogy, and they probably got like probably to the what to the 1800s. Some probably got further than that, but you got a lot of people say, "Oh, I ain't got no Africans. I ain't got no admixtures." You, they want to be straight super Indians. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying this to myself, right? And I'm gonna say it out in the open. Once again, it's a disclosure, right? I mean, a disclaimer, not disclosure, but a disclaimer. That if you have 16 grandparents on each side of your family tree, right? And you say you pure Indian, then that's a problem. Oh, pure native, right? That's a problem. That's a problem if you straight pure and you don't have no admixtures. Because that means that if you don't have no admixtures, all the people do it, and that's a problem.
Say that again because you sounded a little muffled. Repeat that.
I said you have a lot of people that say they don't have no admixtures and that they are straight pure bloods. But that's impossible to be a pure blood if you have 16 grandparents on each side, on your mother's side and father's side, or possibly more. So if you say that you are full blooded Aborigine, then that's a problem because that means that y'all interbred with each other to be pure bloods.
I mean, because even when I did my genealogy, from what I have seen, like some of my ancestors go back to like 600. Now, you have all these mixtures of Spanish, French, and Hungarian, just different mixtures, but I have not found one that said African in what I have researched. And I'm not done researching because some names that you only find a first name for some people. So those are like the X in the algebraic equation in the formula. Those are the unknowns. So they're saying that they don't even have those other mixtures either. If they're saying that, like, because a lot of people have uh, European and French, Spanish, and other things. So that's not a full quote unquote Aborigine because you still got those other mixtures in there too.
But even with that, like what what Chaco had said about even dealing with the over 800 years that the Moors was in Europe. So we all know that the Moors are Northern Africans. So that
The
means
Spanish Moors,
Spanish, French. There
they're
was an there was,
melanated people. Are they okay? So then this will be the question for someone may ask. Okay, are all Moors from the continent of Africa? No. What kind of what? So are you talking about the MOORs or
no,
MUUR?
no, 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 no. We're not gonna do
Okay,
that. We're not
okay.
gonna do it
No, but I'm
because
just saying, for you to make
no,
that statement, people are
no,
going to have these
no,
questions.
no,
They
no,
are.
no, no,
I
no.
know you don't
Because
want to discuss it, but I'm just saying they will have those questions.
well, I'll say this: the MUU aura, right, and the MOO aura, right. You got people in them. Oh my goodness. Now you gotta take me way. I gotta go way through this bullshit. Um,
I mean, you brought it up, so I just brought up a question that they will have since you brought that up.
first of all, there's no MUUR. Okay, well,
Okay.
dealing with the one letter rule, you know, the O and the U is interchangeable. So, but yet, this is the thing. When you talk about the MUUR, that's not the same as the MOOR. And here's the reason why. Because they all use that MUUR, but they don't know where the fuck that come from. Okay, I have to go off on this because they don't even much know where it come from. Furthermore, the MOOR that came from supposed to be the Northern African part. That's supposed to be dealing with the Amazigh and all them there. But the MUUR, you can't find that nowhere in none of the tribal languages over here. None of the tribal languages over here. I mean, I can break that down tonight, but I chose not to because when you brought that question up, I'm like, oh, because I know that's why I kept on saying what I said. Like, nah. Because
Yeah.
see, they
And you
thinking that
know why
they
I
think
said,
that, but but you asking a hypothetical question because most people now was gonna come and ask that because they don't even know where the fucking word come from in the first place.
yeah, but
And it's,
we
and
got
it's
we
only one people that say MUUR, and when you ask them to say it in their motherfucking language, they can't say it.
okay, it says the Iberian Peninsula and North Africa. So some came from the Iberian Peninsula and some came from North Africa.
And where is the
Uh,
Iberian Peninsula at?
okay.
We'll see where the Iberian Peninsula is at.
All right. Like New Iberia in the NOLA. Okay. Okay, let me see. It's in Europe.
Is it
The I,
still is it Europe or is it Africa?
it says it's in southwestern Europe.
Is it
Let's just
Europe or is it Africa?
this is what it says. Iberian Peninsula, also known as Iberia, a peninsula in southwestern Europe, defining the westernmost edge of Eurasia. It is divided between continental Portugal and the peninsular Spain, comprising of a region as well as Andorra, Gibraltar, a small part of southern France, and
Do
then they
this, do
call
this,
it
do this, do
Scandinavian.
this, do
What?
this, do this, right? Do this, right? Right? Now, as you can see, right there where they got the Rock of Gibraltar at, right? You got the Rock of Gibraltar right there. You got that little canal right there, right? That's a part of Spain and part of northern Morocco, right?
Yeah, it's in between them two. Like it said up here, it is divided between continental Portugal, Spain, and
All
it
right,
says
ask this
southernmost
question.
edge.
Ask this question, right, and see what come up. Ask, was Spain is Spain a part of Africa? Just ask that question.
Okay.
Let's see what it says.
Okay, I said, was Spain ever part of Africa? It's let's look. Okay. This is okay. Spain, or the Kingdom of Spain, is a country located in the southwestern Europe with parts of its territory in the Atlantic Ocean, the Mediterranean Sea, and Africa. So it is, like it's located in southwestern Europe with parts of its territory. So they got territory that's in Europe, the Mediterranean Sea, and Africa. So it's so where did they come from? Because
some
that's
people, some
that's like
people, some people still consider Spain as Africa.
so that's just like saying the United States of America, right? You got uh California, and then you got New York, and then you got the Midwest, the East Coast, the Midwest, and then you got the East Coast. So those are all parts of that. Just like it says Spain, it has parts of its territory in the Atlantic Ocean, the Mediterranean Sea, and Africa. So it's saying three parts. That's what it's describing. When did Spain? Okay, let me see. It said
But see,
okay.
but you gotta,
See,
but you gotta remember though, what Europe was named after.
you tell me. I'm just looking at this right here. When it says when did Spain leave Africa? Somebody asked this question. It says the last Spanish colony to claim independence from Spain in 1968 was a territory in West Africa, Equatorial Guinea, a nation state where Spanish still serves as the official language a few years before Spanish Guinea independence in 1968. Per capita were the highest in Africa. So there are parts of Africa considered Spain, or parts of Spain considered Africa, but it just says
Before,
parts.
before, before Spain became Spain, it was called Castile. That's when it was under the
Yeah,
rule.
yeah,
Under,
yeah. I
under,
got some ancestors
it was still a part of
Castile.
Africa. It was
Yeah,
still part of Africa.
well, they said parts. I'm just saying what they said, and I get what you're saying, but when we read this, and the people with questions, they're gonna say, "Well, it says
Yeah,
some
but
parts."
I'm just taking them a little
What
bit
side
deeper.
of the
That's the only
border?
thing I'm
It's
doing.
kind
Just
of
bringing
like
them a little
having
bit
a.
deeper.
It's kind of like having a border. What side of the border or a state line? Like here, we got Kansas City, Missouri, and we got Kansas City, Kansas. There's a
But
border.
you know, there was no such thing as a damn border.
You know what I'm saying, cuz let me see. But yeah, it does say parts. It does. So,
That's just like over here in New Orleans, right? You have an East Bank and a West Bank. You catch a ferry to go to the West Bank. Just like with Spain, you catch the doggone ferry to come to the West Bank, which will be Africa, which there was still is Africa. Yeah, that's why they got the little port that's right there by the Rock of Gibraltar. Oh, which in
so you
ancient
got
time became
right.
known as the Pillars of Hercules.
Okay. So it's basically in between both. Right here, this right here. Yep. So yeah, this is an interesting topic. But yep, it's
Mm-hmm.
southwestern Europe, defining the westernmost edge of Eurasia. It is divided between continental Portugal and the peninsular Spain, comprising most of the region as well as all of these places it mentions. Um, yeah, it's interesting. So what? What part did your ancestors come from? The top or the bottom? If a person want to get technical, you come from the top or you come from the bottom.
But the thing is, it's still Africa, dude. That's the whole thing about it.
But
So,
but from right here, it's right here. This is the continent that they call Africa, and then this is the Mediterranean, um, and then you got this in the middle. So it's connected to both, actually. According to this, it's
so that
connected to
still be
both.
so that still be considered as Northern Africa.
And it could be considered as the southern Mediterranean because it's in the middle.
Now ask where did the continent that has carried the name Europe, where did that name Europe come from? Because they're trying to say is
Origin,
a Greek. They're trying to say
origin,
it's a Greek goddess. They're trying to say it's a Greek goddess, but
yeah,
some
Europa.
some people say that Europa was a Asiatic woman. Now, how true it is, I don't know, but maybe we need to check that out.
They added this shit, but Cro-Magnon, this is history of Europe. And what was the wait? I put in origin. It's okay. It's given the history of Europe, traditionally divided in four time periods. Blah blah blah.
No, we just want to know the origin of the name, where it comes from.
Okay, okay, okay. Origin. Okay, Europe is the second smallest continent. The name Europe or Europa is believed to be the Greek origin, as its name is of princess in Greek mythology. The name Europe may also come from combining the Greek roots Eur, wide, and ope, seen, to form the phrase wide gazing.
Now, the original Greek potteries. They will have dark skinned people on their potteries. You know that, right?
Oh yeah, that's why. Okay, and see, this was one of my things that I used to say, and people would get mad at me. That melanated people are the original peoples of every continent. Every continent. As the far back you go, you will see a melanated person. That doesn't mean that every dark person is from Africa or Agbulan or all of the names. There are
Well,
dark
well,
people
well.
from
If
other
you're dealing with the Greeks, if you're dealing with the Greeks or the Grecos, as they actually name the Grecos, um, they're supposed to came from the Grimaldi's, and the Grimaldi's and them would say they had came from Northern Africa.
okay, and that is who? Who said
The
that?
Grimaldi's, the
No,
Grimaldi's.
no. Who said that they came? You said another name before you said the Grimaldis.
People call them Greeks, but they're not Greeks. They're Grecos. The
Okay,
Grecos and they came
that's why
from
they say Greco-Romans. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. The Grecos and them came from the Grimaldis, and it was said that the Grimaldis came from Northern Africa.
Okay. So that's the them. But we got uh what? How many continents is it? And that goes back to what we were talking about earlier, um, about our different tribal nations have our creation stories and migration stories. And everybody didn't come from what they call the place Africa Akulan. So, that's another, discussion. So we got Asia, Africa, North America, South America, Antarctica, Europe, and Australia. Those are the 7 main divisions of the land. And you talk to many, we got over 500 tribal nations, and everybody's tribal nation
So
creation
now, so
stories
now
let
I have,
you know that they
so now
came.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
How is Australia a continent when it's surrounded by water? I thought in the educational
Yeah,
system
island.
I thought they say in the educational system that when a landmass is surrounded by water, by all water, that's an island.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's what I
So
said.
how did Australia become a continent?
Okay. So, okay, that's okay. And the thing is, too, if you want to look at that, like, okay, where are our major oceans at? They surrounding us all, right? Our
Is
major
it?
oceans and
Is it?
uh lakes and rivers, and is what that's water. So that's where, would you care to elaborate about? I mean, that's another name. All tribal nations didn't call this place that, but this is where you get Turtle
No, I'm
Island.
just saying because when you look at the map right here, you can see Australia is completely surrounded by water.
Okay, let's look at, okay, another map that has like all the
Just like
ocean.
you got Hawaii. Hawaii is surrounded by water.
Okay, but look at this. We got, okay, North America. There's the Atlantic Ocean. There's the South Pacific Ocean. So, I mean, we surrounded by water too.
No, not necessarily so. And here's the reason why.
According to
It,
this.
no, here's the reason why. Because the thing is, you can go straight through North America and South America and everything right there.
But when you
That Panama Canal, that never was there. They made that Panama Canal, so that don't count.
okay, but I'm just going off of what you said. Okay, surrounded by water.
No, no, America is not surrounded by water.
Okay, so we don't have the South Pacific Ocean right here and the North Atlantic Ocean right
You
here.
don't see no water cutting through right there. Panama, that
Oh, I
was not a
said
canal.
we're
That's a
surrounded.
man-made canal.
We're surrounded by water. I mean,
No, 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 no,
is this,
no.
what do you call this? Cuz
No, that's not surrounded by water. That's not.
this, how would you word that then?
For
It's
that,
so
for that,
word.
for that. You see that little purple part right here? You see that little purple part right there? You see that yeah, you see that little purple part right there? That's land. If that was no purple, if that purple part wasn't there and that was water, then you can say it's surrounded by water, but it's not surrounded by water. That's land right
Okay.
there.
Okay, so we got water to the, depending on where you at. You got water to the left, water to the right, and water in here. So I said that to say this. This is where, like I said, all tribal nations don't call this Turtle Island, but this is a part of where they get the concept from. Because
No, that's not what I'm
okay,
saying. Cause listen,
what you saying?
before the Panama Canal was even created, you know how the motherfuckers had to get by to get to the next ocean. They had to go all the way down to South America and go all the way around, and then like that. So That's not an island. That's not like Australia. Australia is just like Hawaii. It got water all the way around it. There's no land cuts right there. That's what I'm saying.
So you're saying basically it's no land bridging it, is what you're saying?
Look what the definition of the word island means.
No, I get what you're saying, but I'm saying, look, if you look at this, all I'm saying is there's ocean right there, there's ocean right there. If you want to say we're surrounded,
It's not surrounded by water all the way around. You got land
okay,
right there where the purple
okay,
part is there. If that purple part wasn't there, then South America would be an island because it's gonna have water around there. That's not
okay.
water there.
So that's kind of like saying something that's 360 or 180. I'm just throwing numbers out there. So right here, Australia is right here.
Do you
Okay.
see any land?
No,
Do you see
no,
any land connected to Australia?
okay. That's what
No,
I said
no,
to you.
Australia got
Just
water all the way around it.
that's what I just said to you. So you're saying that it has no land connecting it. That's what I said to you. But these are technical terms. I get what you're saying, but you also have to get this, that there it says the Atlantic Ocean, it says the South Pacific Ocean is there too. There's there's a connection here connecting these two, but right here there's no
What are you talking about?
there's no direct connection over here on where it says Australia. I get that part. There's no direct connection of land. Like the land is not connected. It's us off by itself. But this is by water, surrounded by water. I didn't say 360 degrees,
What's
but I'm
surrounded by water?
technically. And
What's surrounded by water?
okay,
What's surrounded by water?
we got water to the left and we got water to the right, and it's water down here. Cause what is that? The Gulf
That's
of
not an island. That's not an island. That's
okay,
not
okay,
an island.
okay, okay. But I'm
That's
just
not an
saying,
island.
when you said that definition surrounded by water, this whole what is this? This whole map shows the oceans that are by us, that are by these land masses. That's all I'm saying.
Cause
So it's
what
how you
ocean?
word shit.
What
My point
ocean?
is how
Question.
you word
Question.
shit. That's all.
Question. Question. Question.
What
What
question?
ocean is Australia is sitting in?
It says Australia and ocean. We got the Indian Ocean right here. Let me make this bigger. Oh, okay. It says Australia and Oceania. Okay. There's the Indian Ocean, the North Pacific Ocean right there. What is it missing on this map? Because
Australia sits
tell us.
in the southern. Australia sits in the southern Pacific.
Okay.
Mike, Atlantis wouldn't be in the Pacific. They said Atlantis was right there off the coast where they had the Rock of Gibraltar at, or the Pillar of Hercules. So it's
Right.
supposed to be right there.
Right here. But I was just making a point, just saying that when you say surrounded by water, all of these land masses are surrounded by water.
You just only heard that I said
No.
completely
Okay.
surrounded
Okay.
by water.
So that's why I said earlier.
North
I said,
America is not North
hey,
America and South America is not completely. That's not completely. You
okay,
got a land bridge right there.
yeah, we got a land bridge right here. But we also, all I'm saying is because we got the Pacific Ocean right here, the Atlantic Ocean right here. That's all I was saying. I'm just reading what's on this map right here. But we wasting time on this argument.
No, it's not an argument. I mean, it's a valid
You know
question.
what I'm saying? Discussion,
That's an
argument.
island. That's not a continent. That's an island.
Okay. Let's pull this.
But the educational system said that when it's completely surrounded, is pull up what they said what an island is. Let's
Okay,
go to
I'm
this.
pulling it up, but I'm just saying if you want to get technical, we got water by us too. Was my only point. Because I'm looking at the map where it says that ocean is right to the left and to the right.
But that don't make it an island though.
No, it's surrounded by water. That's what I'm saying. Okay, an island or isle is a piece of subcontinental land completely surrounded by water. Yes, you use the word completely. I just said we surrounded by water. Looking at this map right here, I
But it's
just put
not
it up.
completely like Australia
And,
is.
and you
Australia,
didn't hear me. You didn't hear me say completely. I just said we surrounded by water too.
but I
That's
said
all.
completely though.
Okay, all right. So you broke that down. I broke that down. What's next?
So with that being said and everything, oh, once again, who was the ones that named the continents? Who came up with the consensus to name the continents?
The continents of the world.
Yeah.
Who? Tell us.
No, that's a question I asked.
No, I'm asking who did it.
It sure wasn't us because we didn't have no concept of continents.
Oh my god.
The people of the land masses they have no concept of continents.
Yeah, I mean we just called it. We said stuff in our own languages. So there you have it.
Like I said before that, you can't find the word America in none of the tribal tongues unless you go down there to Peru. Them people was the ones that called it that for their mountain
Okay, let's
range.
look at origin of America.
The
No, they
Portuguese and the Spanish and them was the ones that named the landmass that.
Hmm.
I say it was the Portuguese and the Spanish and them that named it that.
Okay. So we know this is one thing that they like to go to, where they said it derived from Florentine explorer, cartographer Amerigo Vespucci, 1451. They like to go there. Okay. It says, what is the origin of the word American? Okay. American 1570s. One of the Aboriginal peoples discovered in the Western Hemisphere by Europeans. Modern Latin Americanus from America. The original sense is now Native Americans, the sense of resident of North America of European, originally British descent. is from 1765. And humans first settled the Americas from Asia between 20,000 and 16,000 years ago. So what was they calling it 20,000 years ago, 16,000 years ago? That would be a question.
I'm looking up something right now.
No, I know you are because you quiet. Okay. What was America called before 1492? The Europeans called it Novus Mundus, the New World. But at the end of the day, you got to go off of what your tribal nations say it was called. So whatever your tribal nations say it was called, that's what you want to go with at the end of the day. And it says before it was called America, before that the Indies. Also, it was called New Spain. Of course, the native peoples had their own names, hundreds of languages. Yep, and hundreds of languages.
I'm looking for this. Looking for the thing.
Somebody blowing
Yeah,
you up.
hey, let's find the dog.
Mm.
That's some other notifications and stuff.
Uh, said, New Zealand. Anybody got any comments or questions? I'm gonna share the link again. Alright.
Man, I just seen this thing just a couple of days ago.
Anybody want to join us on this discussion? Chime in, people.
Dang, I can't find it. I usually have it.
And we once you do that, we do gotta address uh, what continents were a part of Pangea. What was Pangea? Everybody quiet. They
This where
don't
the name America. This where the name America comes from. You can see it.
Okay, what book is this from? What book source so we can tell the people?
Let's scroll down. Yeah. Uh, where's is the origins of the name America?
Okay. So if y'all want to look this up, look up this book, Origin of the Name America. Amerique.
All right, y'all see what's said right here in the yellow? Y'all can see that?
There is the strongest evidence that this word denoting the range and the rocks of Amerique, Amerique is an indigenous word. The terminal "eek" or "ie" belong common, being common for the names of locality in the language of Linca Indians of Central America, a part of Mexico, and that is the name that has been perpetuated without alteration since the discovery of the New World by the complete isolation of the Indians who live in this part of the continent, who call their mountains by the same word today as they did in 1502 when Colombo, they left out the S, visited them. Amerique, Amerique, Amerique.
So that's where you get the name America from.
And not the Vespucci
Right.
that they try to show. As soon as you type that, that's the first thing they show.
Big up the Turtle Gang for posting that. You heard me. You know, I got that off his post, so I give credit where credit due. You know, Big Turtle Gang had that on there,
Yeah,
right?
make sure y'all look at that book source too.
Yeah. So he had it on his post. You know, so I've shared the post. So that's where the name America comes from, or Amerique, or Ameriquise, as they say.
Amerique, Amerique. Yeah, some things were kept intact, huh? They
Mm-hmm.
weren't altered so much.
Oh, all right. Mike David just asked about with Jack D. Forbes. He had saw some Indians in Europe in 1477. Do y'all know anything about that? Yeah, I know about that. What people don't fail to realize is that you did have some. Excuse me, you did have some Indians from the Iroquois nation or confederacy go over there to Europe around that time. You
Oh,
can actually look that up. You can actually look up Iroquois Indians and then go into England or Europe around that time. And because the English and them even spoke about, they falsely called the Hussein, they falsely called them the Mohawks, but there was no Mohawks. The British in them named them Mohawks, but it was no Mohawks.
what
I
was
hope that
their indigenous name?
I said it before that the Hussein. I mean the Longhouse.
Okay, because you kind of like,
I think I pronounced it right. But the Hussein, the Hussein or the Hussein. That's
okay.
the name before they first became known as Mohawks. As a matter of fact, you can look it up to where, excuse me, that the British and them said that they had the Mohawks in England. You know what I'm saying? And I think that was around that same time. Yeah, you had Indians that traveled over there. That was from the north.
Okay. I thought I pulled it up. Wait a minute. Okay, you said Mohawks in
The
Europe.
Mohawk, yeah, there was in England to be exact.
Okay, let me put England because this don't have Europe on it. This is how they. This got to be different, huh? I mean, I know it's a This is a different phonet. I mean, spelling. People of the Flint. This is what they call themselves. Fenian Kihaka. Open look up Jack Forbes. Okay. With communities in southeastern Canada, northern New York State, Lake Ontario, St. Lawrence River. Okay. The Oneida Nation. Okay. Mohawk Dutch. They had a Creole in Dutch.
See this right here. Look, this how you knew that it was going back and forth. Look,
Okay, you gotta put
you
it up
see,
there. I can't see it. You don't have it up there no more.
All right, I'm about to come back on there. Hold on. Maybe this will help.
Oh, that shit's not okay. Let me see.
I'm gonna see. I'm about to see if I can load you. Hold on.
Okay.
Can you guys see it now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, so yeah. So they was going. They was going over there overseas now. You see that?
Okay. It says when Brant joined the new Indian superintendent by Johnson in London, 1776. So he must have just mentioned a different date, different year. He said what 14 something. Cause okay, okay. All right. Okay. This just talks about it says when the onset of the revolutionary crisis, Native Americans, like other residents of North America, had to choose the loyalist or patriot cause or try to maintain a neutral stance. Okay. Okay. This is in 1776.
Yeah. Now what you saying, cuz?
No, I was just saying this says in 1776.
But that's not their first time though.
Okay.
And you had a nicer temple house and then made it over here too.
Let me see.
The movie National Treasure showed you that.
Is he talking about the in this book right here? Um, that's where he got this from.
And Jack Forbes got a book when they said that when he went to Europe and what
Europe.
they said. It should be in that book.
Yeah, this one.
As a matter of fact, I need to order
Yeah,
that
it
book.
says
I be,
The American Discovery of Europe by Jack
yeah,
D. Forbes.
I should have been got that book. I got the other book, but I don't have that one. So, any more comments? Any more questions?
Let me see. You talking about this book? It's on PDF too. Uh,
Oh, it is.
yeah,
You bullshit.
that's what I just pulled up. Cause
You telling me I ain't gotta go buy it?
there it is.
Man, send me that link. I can go ahead on and read that bitch tonight.
Yep, it's on archive.org. Right. Yes, sir.
Man, send it to me. Send it to my DM.
You crazy.
I'm gonna read that shit tonight. Because I've been wanting to read that one. Because I know from me talking to other tribal people and
Mm-hmm.
stuff, um, that you know, one of the structures over there was actually
Oh,
made.
that's limited preview.
That's what I figured.
Well, you gotta log in. You gotta log in and they'll probably let you see it. But I'm pretty sure somebody else got it somewhere.
Do you got to pay for it?
Mm, I think you just gotta like become a member of this so you can log in and see. You gotta
Because I bet
become
because what people fail to realize is anytime that we can go across the Atlantic Ocean in canoes, it wouldn't be no problem to go across the Atlantic Ocean in the ships.
let me see. Somebody else probably got it. It's just this site is limited. So but somebody got it up. We'll be
still
able to.
send it. Still send it to me. I'm gonna do my thorough
Okay.
investigation to see what's going on with it because I want to
Okay.
read it.
Yeah, anybody got any comments or questions? Anybody want to join in? Uh, we at our 2 hour mark, but if y'all wanna, y'all got any? What else we got? Cause we got anything else?
Nah, but just be on the lookout for next Saturday, y'all. You know, that's the 25th, right?
Yes, sir.
We're gonna have a special guest on here. I'm not gonna see who the name is, but we got a special guest. But y'all gonna see it on the flyer because we're gonna be doing a mass blast. You know what I'm saying? So y'all can see. You know, so yeah, I'm right here in New Orleans, man. I'm right here in New Orleans. Well, misnomer New Orleans, or as the French would say, New Orleans. That's how you actually pronounce it. It's New Orleans in the French
Mhm.
because you have the old Orleans that's on the outside of Paris. So this is the New Orleans. Well, I'm down here in Orleans. She's up there in Kansas.
I'm in Missouri.
Oh, you're in New Orleans too. Okay. Uptown, downtown, West Bank.
Yeah, people get that mixed up too. Kansas and Missouri were right next door to each other, but the Chiefs and the Royals are from Kansas City, Missouri, which is the bigger city. Just to put that out there. Okay.
Yeah, I'm down here in Chichoma Chapatulas. You know,
And I'm in
false, false,
Custody.
false people in them they don't know the history. They say Babancha, but it's not Babancha. Babancha is right there where the French market is at. That's a
Mm.
trading place. That was not the name of the city. But you got people talking about, oh, New Orleans is Babuncha. I'm like, no, New Orleans is not Babuncha.
Well, where I live is named after the Kansas tribe, Ka City.
Oh, okay.
Club
Okay.
Bertha. Where Club Bertha's at? You know he must be interested. He had Club Bertha's listening. How powerful is that? He at the club listening to a podcast. That club ain't popping.
No, that Club Bertha does pop. If I'm not mistaken, I think Club Bertha
Making
is
a
right there in the
little
Seven
jokey
Water
joke.
thing.
I'm making a little jokey joke because it's rare. You see
I think
somebody
it's right there in the Seven
club,
Water.
somebody at a club and they listening to a podcast. That's rare. He says packed. Your heart.
Yeah, that's down there in the Seven Water. Yeah, it's sad. It's packed down there. It's right there off of Saint Bernard, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, his
It's down there off of Saint Bernard, right?
his heart ain't in there tonight. That's what's up. We appreciate you tuning
It's
in.
right there off of Saint Bernard, huh? Is Bertha right there off of Saint Bernard? I wonder if this Bertha is right there in the Seven Water. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's packed like a motherfucker down there. I know. I
Oh,
know. Yeah, you right there. You right there, Hardheadville. Yeah, yeah. Look. We just had the look. We just had the second line. You heard me? The big seven. You heard me? Yeah, that was the Mother's Day second line. All right. Yeah, you right. You right down the street. That was up. You right there in the hood in the Civil War. Yeah, yeah, man. But even down here in New Orleans, has a rich history. You know, you already see the cultural blend of Africans and natives mixed together and come up with the subculture became known as the clonable Indians or Mardi Gras Indians. Yeah, Bertha, not too far around the corner from Tootie House, Big Chief Tootie. Yeah, it's always packed on the Saturday night. That used to be one of my hanging spots when I was much younger.
in your day, as they say.
Oh, thank you. I'm gonna be on that bitch tomorrow night, bruh. We gonna be talking this the prelude to the show tomorrow because we gonna be talking about that too about whether to use Native
The
American
autonomous
or
party.
Indian. Huh? Yeah, I'm gonna be on autonomous party tomorrow.
Yeah, last time, but you was outside of a club when you was on that last one. You
Yeah,
hadn't
yeah, I was
you
outside
had
the club.
you hadn't
Yeah,
made it in there
I,
yet.
I was in the club in the 8 ward. You heard me? I get around. I get around. Yeah, yeah. I bought that. I brought that out about Columbus. Like in 2012, about how he was a Sephardic Moorish Jew, and and that's when they said he was a Marrano. You know, yeah, yeah. I have to come and drop the right information. I can't deal with no pseudo shit. I can't. You know, you got people in them that's lying all kind of ways and misleading people and shit. I don't know how the fuck they can sleep at night misleading people. Talking about the Mississippi is the Nile and shit. Like, we stand not too far from the Mississippi. Ain't no way you saw or heard that they said that the Mississippi was the Nile. I ain't seen no Egyptian boats go up this bitch. Oh shit.
Wait, it means
Yeah, yeah. I was at the club. Yeah, I was at my boy celebration and birthday party. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't go out that often, but when I do go out, I go have a good time. Have a little social here and there. But yeah, but I like dropping information. And my thing is, you know, my saying is always investigate before you propagate, right? Always investigate before you propagate because you got people that's up there on these social media platforms and shit, and they be propagating, and they not even much doing no investigation of the propagation. You know what I'm saying? So they just be telling people all kind of shit, and the people them just fall in line behind this shit and be giving up all kind of, you know, this shit is crazy, man. You know, I don't say America is Egypt. I don't say the Nile is the Mississippi. I don't say Memphis, Tennessee is the original Memphis of Egypt. The number one, that wasn't even called Memphis anyway. The motherfucker was called Menefer. That's the real name. So these motherfuckers don't know what the fuck they talking about. They got people reading books from a Negro who don't know who the fuck he is. He just a Christian and shit. And they just read his book and they run with that shit. I mean, it's crazy. Well, his book is good. Yeah, by Dr. Ivan Van Sertima. Yeah, they came before Columbus, and they talk about yeah, yeah, because he got to travel. He went to go talk to um talk to the elders over there in the bush. You know what I'm saying? He's a real professor. I mean, walk on the other side with the ancestors. You know what I'm saying? So he put out good work. Yeah, that's a good book to read. Another good book to read by David Ahepmotep. The first American was Africans. I asked him why he did that like that, right? And so he said, well, it was to catch the attention of the people. But when you read his book, it don't even much match up with the title you're talking about.
which one? Let me see. Yeah, they do. They do make a lot of those books because I mean They do
But
make
I've well,
sense.
but Yvmvse Sertima, and David Ahepmotep, David, when you read his book, he showed how he had the close connection, you know, with those from here and across the Great Plain. And even David Ahepmotep, Yvmvse Sertima does the same thing. Oh yeah, I got Ancient and Modern Brits by David McRitchie Part 1 and Part 2. I got both of them. I'm surprised. Oh,
Yeah, I
they
got
on they on my
they came before Columbus. I got that one.
Yeah, but I got Part 1 and Part 2. So yeah, those from Europe, they know. Oh yeah, Lee Cummings in, Clyde Winters. Yeah, but Clyde Winters, he be off a little bit. I mean, most of his stuff, yeah, but sometimes he be off a little bit. Yeah, yeah, and he well, Jack D. Forbes, he's Lenape. You know that, right? He's Lenape, and his books his books is superb, man. I like his books.
Yeah, I like his books too.
Yeah, I like Jack D. Forbes books because even when he speaks about um Americans and Africans in his book, he show how you had those that came married amongst us. You got a lot of people that don't want to deal with admixtures, but you can't deny it. It happened.
Yeah, that's the reality. Admixtures of all kinds.
Right. Yeah, I used to have a huge library of books until Hurricane Katrina came along and took them bitches. Hurricane Katrina came and took all my books. I'm like, oh, ain't this a bitch?
I don't have that one.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I got some of Clyde Winter's books. I'm catching up with the comments because I was doing some. Um, he's He's the only active person. Everybody else is chilling.
Right.
We appreciate y'all for tuning in. Does anybody have any questions or comments? I guess he didn't want to join because it would have been too loud since it's packed down there. So he
Mm-hmm.
got tight.
So yeah. So you know. So we had our 2 hour mark already, cuz.
Oh yeah, yep. He said that like when we was talking about. I forget. Yeah, we at 221, 222 right now. 2222.
Mm-hmm. Sacred numbers, huh?
Yes. Yeah. Well, I mean, if don't nobody else got any questions or comments, what's up, cuz?
And I know you have people be like, oh, they were talking about Australia. Well, that's a valid question because Australia is surrounded by water, so
Oh, they don't have comments.
they call it a continent, but I don't know how that's a continent, is an island. But
Oh, that's
anyway,
why I pulled up Pangea too. Like, at what point did it get that way? Like,
wait, say that again, cuz.
at what point did it get disconnected?
Ooh,
Australia.
that's a good question. Like they said, Pangea. That's what they call it, Pangea.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you got people that say, well, they have nobody existing at the time of Pangea because it would have been too catastrophic for humans to be on the planet at that time. But I'm saying to myself, how could it be? Well, they say because everything is shifting and Africa is the only continent that stands still and that's not floating and everything. But yet, the continent of Africa, as we speak, is splitting right now. So, don't they have people living on the continent right now? You actually have people that's living on the continent of Africa right now while it's splitting. So, why they couldn't have men or human beings at that time living when there was Pangea, when the earth was splitting? Because the earth is splitting right now in Africa. It's right in between what? Uganda and Kenya and Ethiopia. So, yeah, they were saying that it's splitting right now. Matter of fact, can you pull that up, cuz?
Well, yeah, I had it pulled up. That's what I'm looking for now. Because I was like, that's our next question. What about Pangea? When yeah, but you was looking at something. I had to pull it up. It was some site. Mhm. Let me just look it up again. Okay.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, it's the educational purposes, you know.
Yes.
It's amazing how all that fitted together like a puzzle.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and it's surrounded by water. That's why I had brought that up earlier, but you was looking for um I forgot what book you was looking for something that a
Because
page.
believe it or not, New Orleans is an island.
Yeah. Yep, technically.
When you really look at it, the city of New Orleans is an island.
Yep, it's really becoming that way more and more.
Because what? You need to go in by I-10 and you need to get off by I-10. And I-55 and Causeway and by the Spillway and Highway 90. That's those ways you need to get off of New Orleans.
Okay, it's formed about 335 million years ago. The supercontinent began to break into separate continents 175 million years ago. Okay, it was surrounded by a super ocean, Panthalassa. That's interesting, cuz you all right over there?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm looking at the map.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they I like how they got it just moving.
Hmm.
Okay, and they give this a reference, the evidence for Pangea. Michael Benson explains that fossils of the same or similar species are now long distances apart. Uh, were found in coastal Brazil and West Africa. It suggests that Africa and South America were once together. Yeah, this is yep. Yeah. So that's very interesting.
Can you pull up the video about how Africa is splitting right now?
Okay. Okay.
Because I say they really don't know how old man is. That's what I say.
Yeah, because they say million. How many millions of years? That thing just said 335 million. Okay. Africa is splitting into two continents. Let's see. How fast is Africa splitting? GPS measurements show that across the East African rift, the Nubian and Somali plates are diverging at an average rate of 7 millimeters. Is it millimeters?
Uh-huh.
0.2 inches
It's
per year.
slowly pulling the continent apart.
Point, 0.2 inches per year. Slowly
So
pulling the continent apart.
Yeah, but somebody said that it couldn't happen, but yet it's happening.
Anyway, they want me to do all this. BBC Science Focus magazine wrote this article. Let's check out somebody else.
So they got a video right there. The first one, right there.
This is for educational purposes only.
Let's discover how tectonic forces are slowly creating a massive body of water in Africa and reshaping the continent, and potentially creating new opportunities for trade and tourism. A vast body of water stretches across the African continent, teeming with marine life and connecting trade routes. This may seem like a dream, but it's actually a reality in the making. A new ocean is forming in Africa, a process that's been happening for millions of years. It all starts with plate tectonics. The African plate is slowly moving away from the Somali plate, and a rift is forming as it does. This rift is creating a new ocean basin, which will eventually fill with water from the Indian Ocean. The process is slow but steady, with the ocean floor spreading apart at about 2.5 centimeters per year. This new ocean has the potential to change the continent in many ways. It could create new opportunities for trade and tourism, and provide new habitats for marine life. It could also change the climate of the region, and have an impact on the movement of species. As exciting as this prospect may be, it also poses significant risks that must be carefully considered. One primary concern is the potential impact on local communities and ecosystems. The formation of a new ocean leads to widespread displacement and destruction of homes and livelihoods. Additionally, the sudden influx of salt water could devastate freshwater sources and the plants and animals that depend on them. Another risk is the potential for increased storm activity and coastal erosion. With more coastline, there would be more opportunities for severe weather to make landfall and cause damage. Additionally, the constant pounding of waves against the new coastlines could lead to erosion and loss of lands. There is the potential for the new ocean to become a source of conflict as countries and companies compete to control valuable resources, such as oil and minerals that may lie beneath the ocean floor. The formation of a new ocean in Africa would significantly impact the borderlines between countries on the continent and those surrounding it, as the ocean...
Yeah, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Well, cuz you ready to wind it on down?
Yeah, well, I'd like to say Yoko Ki and Yvmvse to Mado and Wadu. Thank you all for tuning in for this episode. But next week we got a guest that's coming on. We know y'all gonna like that, y'all gonna enjoy it. We will do a blast with the
It's a very special guest.
yeah.
Yeah, y'all stay tuned. Thank y'all for tuning in. Wado, Yukoki, Yvmvse. Peace.
All right. I'll let y'all next week.